First contact. The skies over New Shanghai buzz with the usual swarm of delivery drones and commuter pods, their electric hum a constant backdrop to city life. But today, a new sound cut through the familiar cacophony, a high-pitched whine that set teeth on edge and caused dogs to howl in alarm. Sarah Chen looked up from her workbench, her forehead creased with a mixture of curiosity and concern. The 28-year-old engineer had been tinkering with her latest project, a revolutionary clean energy converter, when the strange noise had begun. She pushed her safety goggles up onto her head, accidentally smearing a streak of grease across her forehead. "What in the world?" she muttered, moving to the grimy window of her small workshop. The sight that greeted her eyes made her jaw drop. A massive, sleek spacecraft hovered over the city center, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly iridescence. It was unlike anything Sarah had ever seen, even in the most outlandish science fiction holovids. "Holy shit," she breathed. "It's really happening." For years, conspiracy theorists and fringe scientists had insisted that humanity wasn't alone in the universe. Now it seemed they were being proven right in the most dramatic way possible. As Sarah watched, transfixed, a beam of shimmering light extended from the bottom of the craft. Within seconds, it had touched down in the main square, coalescing into a translucent tube. A hush fell over the city as everyone, from the highest penthouses to the grimy streets, held their collective breath. Then they emerged. 3 figures glided down the light beam, their movements graceful and alien. They were tall, easily 7 feet in height, with slender bodies covered in what appeared to be a metallic, scale-like skin. Their heads were elongated, with large, almond-shaped eyes that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. The alien in the lead stepped forward, its gaze sweeping over the gathered crowd. When it spoke, its voice seemed to bypass the air entirely, resonating directly in the minds of all who heard it. "People of Earth," the alien's thoughts boomed. "I am Captain Zara of the Galactic Confederation. We have come to assess your world's readiness for integration into the greater cosmic community." Sarah felt a shiver run down her spine. This was it, humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization. Everything would change from this moment on. As the initial shock wore off, world leaders scrambled to respond. Within hours, a hastily assembled delegation of politicians, scientists, and military officials had gathered to meet with Captain Zara and her crew. Sarah, like millions of others around the world, watched the proceedings on her battered holodisplay. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about the alien's demeanor, particularly Captain Zara's. "As you can see," Zara was saying, her mental voice dripping with barely concealed condescension, "our technology far surpasses anything your species has achieved. We have mastered faster-than-light travel, harnessed the power of stars, and explored the furthest reaches of the galaxy." The human delegates shifted uncomfortably, a mixture of awe and indignation on their faces. "However," Zara continued, "we are not without compassion. We are willing to share some of our lesser advancements with your people to help elevate you from your primitive state." Sarah felt her blood boil at the alien captain's words. Sure, humanity had its problems, but they weren't some helpless children in need of saving. They had split the atom, cured countless diseases, and taken their first steps into space. They deserved respect, not patronizing charity. As the day wore on, it became clear that Captain Zara viewed Earth as little more than a quaint backwater, barely worth the Confederation's time. Her crew seemed to share her attitude, treating the humans with a mixture of amusement and thinly veiled disgust. That evening, as Sarah walked home through the crowded streets, she overheard snippets of conversation from her fellow citizens. "Did you see how advanced their ship was? We must look like cavemen to them. Maybe they're right. What have we really accomplished compared to them? I bet they could solve all our problems in a day if they wanted to." Sarah clenched her fists, frustration building inside her. Yes, the aliens were advanced, but that didn't mean humanity was worthless. They had faced countless challenges throughout history and had always found a way to overcome them. This was just another obstacle to surmount. As she reached her small apartment, an idea began to form in Sarah's mind. If the aliens thought humans were so primitive, maybe it was time to show them what Earth was truly capable of. She may not have been chosen for the official delegation, but that didn't mean she couldn't make a difference. With renewed determination, Sarah fired up her computer and began researching everything she could about the alien technology she had glimpsed. If Captain Zara wanted to see what humans could do, Sarah was going to give her one hell of a demonstration. Little did Sarah know that her actions over the coming days would not only challenge the aliens' perceptions, but also change the course of human history forever. The stage was set for a clash of cultures, technologies, and ideologies, and at the center of it all would be one determined engineer with something to prove. As the night deepened, Sarah worked tirelessly, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew that somewhere in her research, in the combination of human ingenuity and alien inspiration, lay the key to proving humanity's worth, and she was determined to find it, no matter the cost. The first contact had been made, but the real challenge was just beginning. In the days to come, Sarah Chen would show Captain Zara and the entire Galactic Confederation that they had severely underestimated the potential of humanity. The aliens may have laughed at first, but Sarah was about to wipe that smug superiority right off their faces. The challenge. The holographic news feeds buzzed with excitement as Captain Zara's sleek spacecraft hovered above New Shanghai's skyline. Its iridescent hull reflected the city's neon glow, a constant reminder of the profound change humanity now faced. Sarah Chen, her eyes bleary from a sleepless night of research, barely noticed the commotion outside her cramped apartment. "This is it," she muttered, staring at her computer screen. "The key to showing those smug aliens what humans are really made of." Suddenly, every screen in the city flickered to life with an emergency broadcast. Captain Zara's alien visage filled the frame, her large, shimmering eyes seeming to stare directly at each viewer. "People of Earth," her telepathic voice resonated in millions of minds simultaneously. "We have observed your civilization and found it lacking." A collective gasp echoed through the city streets. "However," Zara continued, a hint of amusement in her tone, "we are not without mercy. We offer you a chance to prove your worth to the Galactic Confederation." Sarah leaned closer to her screen, her heart racing. "We challenge your species to create a device capable of harnessing zero-point energy, the very fabric of spacetime itself. You have 30 Earth days. Succeed, and we will welcome you into the galactic community. Fail, and, well, let's just say your future will be quite limited." The broadcast cut off, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. Within hours, governments worldwide mobilized their top scientists and engineers. Research facilities buzzed with frantic activity as humanity faced its greatest technological hurdle yet. Sarah paced her tiny apartment, mind whirling. She knew she could contribute, if only someone would listen. But as an overlooked engineer from a small tech startup, how could she even get her foot in the door? A knock interrupted her thoughts. She opened the door to find her neighbor, Li Wei, an elderly man with a perpetual twinkle in his eye. "Ah, young Sarah," he said, smiling. "I couldn't help but overhear your frustration. Perhaps an old man's wisdom might help." Sarah sighed but invited him in. As they sipped tea, Li Wei shared stories of his youth during China's technological revolution. One tale caught Sarah's attention, a story of a humble engineer who changed the course of history with a single brilliant idea. Inspiration struck like lightning. Sarah sprang to her feet, nearly spilling her tea. "That's it. Mr. Li, you're a genius." She raced to her computer, fingers flying over the keyboard. Using Li Wei's story as a framework, Sarah began crafting a plan so audacious it just might work. Meanwhile, at the United Earth Response Center, tensions ran high. Dr. Eliza Foster, the lead scientist, slammed her fist on the table. "It's impossible. We're decades, maybe centuries away from zero-point energy manipulation." General Jackson, his face grim, nodded. Then we need to consider alternative options. We can't let these aliens decide our fate. As heated debates raged in halls of power worldwide, Sarah put the finishing touches on her proposal. It was wild, unconventional, and just crazy enough to work. But how could she get anyone to listen? The answer came in the form of a viral video challenge. #ProveThemWrong began trending globally, with millions sharing their ideas to solve the alien challenge. Sarah, seeing her chance, uploaded a simplified version of her proposal. Within hours, her video exploded across the internet. Its combination of innovative thinking and underdog appeal resonated with a global audience desperate for hope. Soon, #SarahSarahPoint was the top trending topic worldwide. The buzz reached the United Earth Response Center. Dr. Foster, intrigued despite her skepticism, decided to give Sarah a chance. "Bring her in," she ordered. "Let's see what this girl's got." Sarah arrived at the high-security facility, her heart pounding. As she presented her idea to a room full of the world's brightest minds, she felt a mix of terror and exhilaration. "It's unorthodox," she admitted, "but by combining our latest quantum entanglement research with principles derived from the aliens' own technology, we might just be able to tap into zero-point energy." The room erupted into a mixture of excited chatter and vehement objections. Dr. Foster raised her hand for silence. "It's a long shot," she said, studying Sarah intently. "But right now, a long shot is better than no shot at all. Ms. Chen, welcome to the team." As Sarah beamed with pride, a commotion outside drew everyone's attention. They rushed to the windows to see Captain Zara's ship descending towards the facility. The alien leader strode into the room, her metallic scales shimmering under the fluorescent lights. Her gaze locked onto Sarah. "So," Zara's mental voice purred, "you're the one causing all this excitement." Sarah straightened her spine, meeting the alien's gaze. "That's right, and I'm going to show you exactly what humans are capable of." Zara's lips curled into what might have been a smile. "Bold words, little one. But remember, the challenge has only just begun. Your real trials lie ahead." As Zara turned to leave, she paused at the door. "Oh, and Miss Chen, I'll be watching your progress with great interest." The door closed behind her, leaving a room full of stunned scientists and one determined engineer ready to take on the universe. Sarah turned back to the team, her eyes blazing with determination. "All right, let's get to work. We've got a planet to save and some aliens to impress." As the team sprang into action, Sarah couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. The next 30 days would determine the fate of humanity, and she was right at the center of it all. The real challenge had only just begun, and Sarah Chen was ready to show the universe what one determined human could do. Unexpected allies. The United Earth Response Center hummed with frenetic energy as scientists and engineers from around the world raced against time. At the heart of this controlled chaos stood Sarah Chen, her eyes alight with determination as she directed a team of the planet's brightest minds. No, the quantum flux needs to be inversed here," she said, pointing to a holographic model floating above the central table. "Otherwise, we'll never achieve the energy density we need." Dr. Foster nodded approvingly. "Impressive work, Sarah, but we're still missing something crucial." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. Security personnel rushed past, weapons drawn. "What now?" Sarah muttered, following the commotion. They arrived at the main entrance to find a scene of utter confusion. Standing in the doorway, surrounded by agitated guards, was an alien, but not one of Captain Zara's crew. This one was different. It stood nearly 8 feet tall, its body a shimmering mass of what looked like liquid metal. 4 arms extended from its torso, each ending in delicate, multi-jointed fingers. Its head was a smooth oval, featureless except for 3 glowing orbs arranged in a triangle. "I come in peace," The alien's voice resonated, sounding like a chorus of wind chimes. General Jackson pushed through the crowd, his face a mask of suspicion. "Who are you? What do you want?" The alien's form rippled, and suddenly, a familiar face appeared on its featureless head, Sarah's face. "I am Kavex," it said, using Sarah's voice perfectly. "I have come to help." The room erupted into chaos. Weapons were raised, scientists argued, and Sarah found herself pushed to the front of the crowd. "Wait," she shouted, holding up her hands. "Let's hear it out." Kovex's body shimmered again, returning to its original form. "Thank you, Sarah Chen. I have been watching your work. It is fascinating." Sarah's mind raced. "You're not with Captain Zara's crew, are you?" "No," Kovex replied. "I am a member of the Galactic Science Coalition. We believe Zara's challenge is unfair. I have come to offer assistance." General Jackson scoffed. "And why should we trust you?" Kovex's body rippled once more, and suddenly complex equations and diagrams appeared across its surface. Sarah gasped, recognizing advanced zero-point energy theories far beyond Earth's current understanding. "Because," Kovex said simply, "I can help you save your world." What followed was a whirlwind of activity. After intense debate and rigorous security checks, Kovex was cautiously integrated into the research team. Its knowledge proved invaluable, filling in gaps in human understanding and providing insights into alien technology. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Many team members, including Dr. Foster, remained suspicious of Kovex's motives, and Sarah found herself in the uncomfortable position of bridge between human and alien. One late night, as Sarah and Kovex worked alone in the lab, she finally voiced her doubts. "Why are you really helping us, Kovex? What do you get out of this?" The alien was silent for a moment, its form swirling with complex patterns. "Your species intrigues us. You are young, yes, but your potential is immense. Some in the Galactic Confederation fear this potential. Others, like myself, wish to nurture it." Sarah absorbed this, a mix of pride and unease washing over her. "And Captain Zara, what's her real game?" Kovex's form darkened slightly. "Zara represents a faction that believes in controlled evolution of species. They think they know best for the galaxy. We disagree." As they talked, Sarah began to see Kovex in a new light. Despite its alien nature, she recognized a kindred spirit, a being driven by curiosity and a genuine desire to understand the universe. Their conversation was interrupted by a commotion outside. They rushed to the window to see a crowd gathered around a massive holographic projection. Captain Zara's face loomed over the city, her expression smug. "Humans of Earth," her mental voice boomed. "Your time is half spent, yet you seem no closer to your goal. Perhaps a demonstration of what true mastery of zero-point energy looks like is in order." The sky above the city began to ripple and warp. Gasps of awe and terror rose from the crowd as a massive portal opened, revealing a glimpse of a distant alien world. "Behold," Zara's voice resonated with pride, "the power you aspire to wield." As the portal closed, Sarah turned to Kovex, her eyes wide. "Can we really compete with that?" Kovex's form pulsed with determination. "Together, Sarah Chen, we can do more than compete. We can revolutionize." Inspired by this show of alien power and Kovex's unwavering support, Sarah threw herself into the work with renewed vigor. Human ingenuity combined with alien knowledge in ways no one could have predicted. But as breakthroughs began to pile up, Sarah couldn't shake a nagging feeling. What if they succeeded? What would it mean for humanity to suddenly possess such power? And could they trust Kovex and the faction it represented? As the deadline loomed ever closer, Sarah realized that creating a zero-point energy device was only the beginning. The real challenge lay in how humanity would handle its newfound power and its place in a much larger, more complex universe. With determination in her heart and questions swirling in her mind, Sarah prepared to lead humanity into its next great leap. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, and the eyes of the galaxy were watching. Cosmic countdown. The United Earth Response Center had transformed into a hive of frenzied activity. Holographic displays flickered with complex equations, prototype devices hummed with otherworldly energy, and the air crackled with a mix of hope and desperation. At the center of it all stood Sarah Chen, her eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights, but burning with fierce determination. "We're close," she muttered, studying a 3D model of their latest zero-point energy prototype. "So close I can taste it." Kovacs, the alien scientist, rippled with agreement. "Indeed, your species' adaptability continues to amaze me." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red lights flashed as security personnel rushed past, their faces grim. "What now?" Sarah groaned, following the commotion. They arrived at the main control room to find chaos. Screens showed cities worldwide erupting into panic. Strange, shimmering portals were opening randomly across the globe, disgorging bizarre alien creatures and inexplicable phenomena. General Jackson's face was ashen. "It's Zara. She's toying with us." As if on cue, every screen in the room flickered to life, showing Captain Zara's smug face. "Greetings, humans. Enjoying our little demonstration." Zara stepped forward, her fists clenched. "What are you doing, Zara? This wasn't part of the challenge." Zara's mental laugh sent chills down everyone's spine. "Oh, but it is, my dear. Did you think we'd simply hand over the keys to the cosmos without testing how you'd handle such power? Consider this a preview of what awaits should you fail or succeed." The screens went dark, leaving a stunned silence in their wake. Dr. Foster was the first to recover. "We need to accelerate our timeline. If Zara can do this now, who knows what she'll do when the deadline hits?" Sarah nodded, her mind racing. "Kovacs, is there anything in your knowledge base that could help us contain these portals?" The alien scientist's form swirled with complex patterns. "Perhaps, but it would require integrating our zero-point prototype with Earth's existing satellite network. The risks would be significant." "Do it," General Jackson ordered. "We're out of options." What followed was a montage of frantic activity. Sarah and Kovacs worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of human and alien science. The prototype was hastily adapted, tested, and launched into orbit. As Sarah initiated the satellite uplink, she held her breath. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, one by one, the portals across the globe began to close. A cheer went up in the control room, but Sarah's relief was short-lived. One of the technicians called out in alarm, "We've got a power surge. The system's overloading." Sarah watched in horror as their jerry-rigged solution began to backfire. The satellite network, infused with unstable zero-point energy, was tearing itself apart. "Shut it down," Dr. Foster yelled. "I can't," Sarah replied, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's self-sustaining." As panic set in, Kovacs stepped forward. "There is one possibility, but it would require a direct interface with the system, a mind to guide the energy flow." Sarah met the alien's gaze, understanding dawning. "You mean one of us has to plug in, directly?" Kovacs' form rippled solemnly. "Yes, and given the energies involved, survival is unlikely." A heavy silence fell over the room. Then Sarah straightened her spine. "I'll do it." Protests erupted, but Sarah silenced them with a raised hand. "This is my project, my responsibility. And let's face it, I'm the only one who understands both the human and alien aspects of the tech." As the team rushed to prepare for the dangerous procedure, Captain Zara's face appeared on the screens once more. Well, it seems you've managed to surprise me after all. But don't celebrate yet, humans. The real test is still to come." Sarah was strapped into a modified pilot's chair, her body connected to a dizzying array of wires and tubes. Kovacs stood nearby, its form pulsing with what might have been concern. "Sarah Chen," the alien said softly, "your courage honors your species." Sarah managed a weak smile. "Thanks, Kivex, for everything. If I don't make it, make sure humanity doesn't lose this chance." With a nod to Dr. Foster, Sarah closed her eyes as the system powered up. Pain unlike anything she'd ever experienced coursed through her body. She screamed, her consciousness exploding outward, connecting with the satellite network and beyond. In that moment, Sarah Chen's soul, everything, the intricate dance of subatomic particles, the vast tapestry of spacetime, the very fabric of reality itself. And she understood. With newfound clarity, Sarah directed the chaotic energies, soothing the overload and stabilizing the system. Across the globe, the remaining portals snapped shut. In the control room, jaws dropped as they watched Sarah's vital signs flatline, and then surge back to life with impossible readings. Sarah's eyes snapped open, glowing with an otherworldly light. She spoke, her voice resonating with power. "I understand now, and I know what we have to do." As Sarah was carefully disconnected from the system, everyone present knew that something profound had changed. The challenge wasn't just about proving humanity's worth anymore. It was about redefining humanity's place in the cosmos. Captain Zora's smug confidence had finally cracked, replaced by a flicker of genuine concern. For the first time since her arrival, the alien leader began to wonder if she had underestimated these humans after all. With only days left until the challenge's end, Sarah Chen prepared to lead humanity into its greatest trial yet. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The cosmic crucible. The air crackled with tension as Sarah Chen stood before the assembled leaders of Earth. Her eyes, still glowing faintly with residual zero-point energy, swept across the room. World presidents, prime ministers, and generals leaned forward, hanging on her every word. "What I experienced, what I saw," Sarah began, her voice resonating with newfound power, "it changes everything." Holographic displays sprang to life around her, showing mind-bending visualizations of quantum realms and interdimensional spaces. The room gasped collectively. "Zero-point energy isn't just a power source," Sarah continued. "It's the fundamental language of reality itself. And now we can speak it." General Jackson cleared his throat. "That's all very impressive, Miss Chen, but how does this help us beat Zara's challenge?" Sarah's lips curled into a confident smile. "We don't beat the challenge, General. We transcend it." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. Dr. Foster's voice came over the intercom, panic evident in her tone. "Sarah, we've got a problem. A big one." The scene shifted to the main control room, where chaos reigned. Screens showed a massive disturbance in Earth's orbit. Captain Zara's ship had transformed, expanding into a colossal structure that dwarfed the planet. Zara's face appeared on the main screen, her usual smugness replaced by cold determination. "Humans of Earth, your time is up. Your pitiful attempts at mastering zero-point energy have failed to impress us. Prepare for assimilation." The enormous structure began to glow, tendrils of energy reaching towards Earth's atmosphere. "She's trying to forcibly elevate us," Kevex explained, its form rippling with agitation. "But the process will destroy your civilization, remake your species in the image of her faction." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Not if I have anything to say about it." She turned to the team. "Get me to the roof. Now." Moments later, Sarah stood atop the facility, the wind whipping her hair as she faced the looming threat above. She closed her eyes, reaching out with her newfound connection to the zero-point field. Energy began to swirl around her, lifting her off the ground. Sarah's body glowed brighter and brighter, until she was a miniature sun hovering above the city. "Zara!" Sarah's voice boomed, amplified by the very fabric of spacetime. "You wanted to see humanity's potential? Well, here it is." With a gesture, Sarah created a shimmering barrier around the Earth, deflecting Zara's energy tendrils. The alien captain's shock was palpable even from orbit. Impossible. Zara's mental voice wavered. How did you? You underestimated us, Zara replied, her voice echoing across the cosmos. Humanity doesn't just adapt, we evolve. What followed was a battle unlike anything Earth had ever witnessed. Zara and Zara clashed in orbit, their mastery of zero-point energy warping reality itself. Cities watched in awe as the sky above rippled and tore, offering glimpses of other dimensions and far-off galaxies. But even as Zara held her own against the alien threat, she realized the truth. This wasn't a battle that could be won with power alone. In a flash of insight, Zara ceased her attacks. Instead, she opened her mind, broadcasting her experiences, her understanding of the zero-point field, to every human on the planet. Across the globe, people gasped as newfound knowledge flooded their consciousness. Scientists found solutions to problems that had puzzled them for decades. Artists envisioned impossible new forms of expression. Ordinary people glimpsed the underlying beauty and interconnectedness of the universe. Humanity, as one, took a collective leap forward in understanding and potential. Zara's mental voice rang out, a mixture of awe and fear. What? What have you done? Zara smiled, her form still radiant with energy. I've given humanity the tools to decide its own fate. We don't need your guidance or your tests. We'll forge our own path among the stars. As if to emphasize her point, the zero-point barrier around Earth pulsed, sending a shockwave that knocked Zara's massive ship back. The alien captain was silent for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, she laughed. Well played, Zara Chen. Well played indeed. Zara's ship began to shrink, returning to its original size. Perhaps we were wrong about your species. You've certainly proven yourselves interesting. As Zara descended back to the roof of the facility, cheers erupted from the crowd below. She had done it. She had saved humanity and reshaped its destiny in one fell swoop. But as the adrenaline of the moment faded, Zara realized that this was only the beginning. Humanity now stood on the brink of a new era, with challenges and opportunities beyond imagination. Kvex approached, its form shimmering with what might have been pride. Zara Chen, you have done the impossible. You've not only met the challenge but redefined it. What will you do now? Zara looked up at the stars, a universe of possibilities reflected in her still glowing eyes. Now we take our first real steps into the cosmos, and I have a feeling we're going to need your help, Kvex. As night fell on a transformed Earth, its people buzzing with newfound potential and cosmic awareness, Zara Chen prepared to lead humanity into an uncertain but thrilling future. The challenge was over, but the true adventure was just beginning. Cosmic dawn. The sun rose on a world forever changed. Cities gleamed with impossible new architecture, structures that defied gravity and bent light itself. In the streets, people went about their daily lives with a newfound sense of purpose and wonder, their eyes occasionally glowing with the telltale sign of zero-point awareness. Zara Chen stood atop the newly christened Cosmic Nexus, once the United Earth Response Center, now the hub of humanity's galactic endeavors. Kvex floated beside her, its form a swirling symphony of colors. It's beautiful, Zara murmured, gazing at the transformed skyline. Kvex's form pulsed in agreement. Your species has embraced its potential with remarkable speed, but challenges still lie ahead. As if on cue, a holographic display materialized before them, showing scenes from around the globe. While many celebrated humanity's leap forward, others struggled with the sudden influx of cosmic awareness. Reports of mental breakdowns and chaotic awakenings flooded in. Zara's expression hardened. We need to help them. This gift, it's overwhelming for some. Suddenly, the sky above rippled, and a massive ship emerged, but not Zara's. This vessel was organic, almost alive, pulsing with bioluminescent patterns. A mental voice, ancient and vast, resonated across the planet. Greetings, newborn children of the cosmos. We are the ethereals. Your awakening has not gone unnoticed. Zara straightened, ready to defend Earth if necessary. What do you want with us? The voice chuckled, a sound like rustling leaves and distant thunder. Want, dear child, we are here to welcome you. Your species' unique path to awakening has sent ripples through the galactic community. Many are curious. A beam of light engulfed Sarai and Kavex, transporting them to the ethereal ship's interior. They found themselves in a vast chamber that seemed to stretch into infinity, filled with beings of pure energy and otherworldly entities beyond description. Among them stood Captain Zara, looking somewhat abashed. "Sarah Chen," she said, her mental voice tinged with respect. "It seems I owe you and your species an apology. Your potential, it exceeds anything we imagined." Before Sarah could respond, a new figure approached, a human woman, but one who radiated an aura of timeless wisdom. "Hello, Sarah," she said, her voice achingly familiar. "I'm Dr. Elara Chen, your great-great-grandmother." Sarah's jaw dropped. "But how?" Elara smiled. "Time works differently when you step outside the bounds of conventional spacetime. I've been watching over our family, over humanity, for a very long time." As Sarah struggled to process this revelation, the chamber filled with a soft light. The ethereal voice spoke again. "Sarah Chen, Kavex of the Galactic Science Coalition, Captain Zara of the Uplifters, Dr. Elara Chen of the Time Walkers, you stand at a crossroads of cosmic destiny." Images flashed around them, alternate futures, parallel Earths, some thriving, others falling to darkness. Humanity's awakening has triggered a cascade of events across the multiverse. The choices you make now will shape not just your world, but countless others. Sarah's mind reeled with the implications. What do we need to do? Elara stepped forward. "We need to guide humanity through its awakening, prevent chaos from consuming your world. But more than that, we need to prepare for what comes next." Zara nodded grimly. "Your species' rapid evolution has not gone unnoticed by less friendly factions in the galaxy. Some fear your potential, others seek to exploit it." Kavex's form rippled with determination. "We must stand together. Humans, uplifters, ethereals, a united front against the coming storm." The ethereal voice resonated once more. "Sarah Chen, you unlocked humanity's potential. Now, will you lead them into the cosmic arena?" Sarah looked around the chamber, at faces human and alien, at beings of energy and entities beyond comprehension. She thought of the transformed Earth below, of the challenges and wonders that awaited. Her eyes, glowing with zero-point energy, blazed with determination. "I will," she said firmly, "but not alone. We'll face this together, as a united Earth and as part of something even greater." As if in response to her words, the chamber shifted, revealing a breathtaking view of the Milky Way. Countless worlds awaited, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. Elara placed a hand on Sarah's shoulder. "The path ahead won't be easy. You'll face trials that will test not just your newfound powers, but your very humanity." Sarah nodded, a smile playing at her lips. Humanity has always thrived on challenges. Bring it on. With a gesture, Sarah opened a portal back to Earth. She turned to address the assembled cosmic beings. "Let's show the universe what humanity can really do." As Sarah stepped through the portal, ready to lead Earth into a new age of cosmic adventure, the ethereal voice echoed one last time. "And so begins the next great chapter in the cosmic saga. The Age of Awakening is upon us." The portal closed, leaving the gathered beings to contemplate the astounding potential of the species that had, until recently, been dismissed as primitive. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire, it had emerged reborn, ready to take its place among the stars. As night fell on the transformed Earth, its people looked to the sky with new eyes, seeing not just distant points of light, but future homes, allies, and adventures. The challenge that began with an alien's laugh had ended with humanity's triumphant entry onto the galactic stage. The universe watched and waited, holding its breath for what this young, vibrant, newly awakened species would do next. One thing was certain: with Sarah Chen and her unlikely allies leading the way, humanity's cosmic journey was just beginning. And it promised to be an adventure unlike any other in the history of the cosmos.